guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's CaitlinAnwyn for anyone who's new here, and let's get into another speed build. And today we are doing the micro tiny home challenge, building with only 32 squares, and I kind of wanted to see how creative I could get with such a small space, because I felt totally like trapped. I was like, oh no, I'm only going to be able to make this like box. There's only 32 squares. How creative can you really get with that? And then I thought about Brody and Popty Ping from my Discover University series. I thought they would need a small house to move into now that everyone is graduated and has left Brightchester. So I was inspired to make a steampunk style of house. I was having a look on Pinterest, as you always do, and seeing this little sketch of this cute little steampunk house that was like two separate round buildings. So we all know my problem with wanting rounded walls in The Sims. I definitely would have taken that in a stuff pack. but we don't have rounded walls in The Sims, so I made do with this like weirdly shaped diagonal house. And it is floating because I wanted this to be like a flying house, shall we say? Like a mechanical, self-sufficient flying house. Not like up with the balloons, but I made a propeller, I guess. So I wanted to show that this was a flying house, so it's technically on the second floor, like I've done with some other houses in the past. I made it float because I wanted it to look like it was sort of hovering or flying with the propeller on the top. So I was heavily inspired by my sim Brody when I was creating this house, and I sort of had in mind that maybe he built it because Brody is a complete genius and he is now a computer engineer. After graduating from his distinguished computer science degree, he really got into tinkering about on the robotics table, and it's like his favorite thing to do is be quite mechanical and tinker about and stuff. So I thought doing a steampunk house with loads of cogs and pipes and stuff on the outside, like he rigged the house up to float somehow. So the story with this is that Brody created this tiny home because he couldn't get anything bigger to float, so he had to use 32 tiles. And he got this tiny house all rigged up with his robotics skill. He's level 10, if anyone cares. He made this house with his spare parts after making his Servo. And his Servo is now his girlfriend. Her name is Popty Ping, and she wants to go to university as well. But they wanted to get out of Brightchester and make it out on their own. So Brody created this tiny house and rigged it up so he could fly away from Brightchester and be self-sustainable, I guess, on this little floating house. Fly away with Popty. Popty was going to complete her degree online while they were in the sky. But all of the engines completely broke down as soon as they floated past this rather strange purple cloud. So this is why I am building in Strangerville. The mother, I guess, has caused Brody's house to fail, and they've crash landed in Strangerville. So Brody now has to set up shop in Strangerville to fix his house, and I guess Popty will have to study here instead. This house took me like 3 hours to build, so it's a lot of time to think about the story behind the build as well. But this is how I keep myself occupied, other than watching loads of YouTube videos. But I obviously needed to use the Murphy bed because it's the new thing of the pack. It has to be used, right? And I also need this to be livable for 2 Sims. Although my Servo doesn't technically need to sleep, I'd still like to give her a place to sleep. And I also want to credit Simarchy, I think that's how you pronounce her name, for the idea with the Discover University shower. She planned out how to do a 1x1 square of a bathroom, which I had like half a tile more than her, so I didn't quite put the shower where she placed it. But yeah, I knew that the shower from Discover University worked in quite a small space from her builds I've seen on Twitter, and I also seen it on James Turner's video. So yeah, that's where I got that idea. Definitely not my idea. I'm not a building genius whatsoever. I don't know why you watch my builds. And I've not seen the Murphy bed placed in the middle of the room before, but I sort of made it like it was a separator between the bathroom and the living sleeping area. It's very cumbersome, but I get why it's there, and the sofa obviously helps. But the Sims can walk around the little gap of the Murphy bed and the bathroom, and I think I had to take the shelves out, but that was about it. In the bathroom, everything works. It's just a shame that we do need Discover University for that one shower, so everything fits in nicely. So I also thought an extra little touch to this build would be to make like a crater where the engine of the house has fallen off, I guess, and landed in this crater. I thought that would be a little bit more fun, and yeah, it is a Strangerville item, so it does fit quite nicely in Strangerville. I think having something this different and, well, I guess it's strange, it fits quite nicely in Strangerville. And I don't often do terrain all that much for my builds. I'm kind of lazy that way. Brody is a computer engineer. He needs to work on the robotics table, but that was so not fitting in my house. So what I did instead was place a room and put a roof on top, take the room off, and place half walls instead of full walls. Now this space, this little shed, does not count towards the tiles. So I don't know how you want to do this in your build, but this is my cheat. And I've made a shed out of it, but I guess you could do anything really. With this you could make like more of a conservatory at the back, but I don't think you can make it. Oh, you could make it touch. If it's only half walls, it's not going to count as a room at all, and if you use the tall half walls, you could almost make it a wall. Almost. So I've put this like rickety old metal shed out the back, like Brody's put it together and built this shed out of scraps he's found around Strangerville from the plane crash over the road and his own house plane crash. So this is all under a roof, so none of your electrical items are gonna break, but it's also not classing as a room at all, so you can keep those 32 squares and have all of the perks to go with the micro home. So if you haven't got tiny living yourself, or you're just not familiar with it, maybe you didn't watch the Sim Guru's live stream, the micro home comes with its own benefits. So there's 3 different types of houses. I've gone for the smallest one, which is the 32 squares, and this has the most rewards. This is why I've gone for the small house, because it'll help me while I'm playing. So the best part about this, I guess, is the lower bills. So our bills will be nice and cheap in this teeny tiny house. And all of your relationship gains are doubled, so you can make friends super easily. Your plants grow twice as fast, which is awesome. Your skills increase twice as fast too. So that is the entire house. Let me know whether you like this little steampunk micro home. And let me know whether you are enjoying tiny living. Have you got it? Have you skipped this one? Maybe you'll try out the knitting when that comes out later on this year, that we are voting for, of course. And smash that like button, let me know and let YouTube know that you enjoyed the video. And if you haven't already, it would mean a lot to me if you could subscribe and hit the bell to be notified whenever I upload a new video. I upload on Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day and I will see you next time. Goodbye!